It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens. And it's all up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, happy to be with you. And CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
Play with me, but I still gamble with it. We getting right before we take off on the landing strip. Know that you like all the attention that a fan gives.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Time for Dak Prescott and the Dallas offense to go to work. Prescott, of course, the former fourth-round pick in 2016 out of Mississippi State.
And how about the toughness of Dak Prescott? We see it all the time on the field. And remember when he had that serious ankle injury, would he return to form? Boy, did he ever. And he was better than ever, and that's great for the NFL. Terrific resilience, playing at a high level, capable of winning a championship with his arm and his legs.
And Dak going to start out going to the air. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Now Prescott. He finds his man complete. That's Ferguson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Now Prescott. Going right back to Ferguson. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And it's second down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. From the 47 now, they'll work with a 2nd and 7. They run here with Rico Dowdle. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Prescott to throw it. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Here's 2nd and 10. On the run, it's Dowdle. And some good tackling there as he's stopped up at about the 41. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Looking to throw. Prescott. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Like the footwork back there, and I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away.
Back deep is Steven Sims.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it, and scares defenses every time he takes a snap.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
They'll start with the option.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Here's Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Absolutely love the play design here. 2 receivers on each side with the outside guy running a short hitch. The inside guy a deep corner. And how about the quarterback? That little shoulder fake like he's throwing the hitch. Then he comes up and throws a deep corner route, this time for big effect, and it pays off with a 1st down.
They go play action with Jackson.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Here's the former Heisman winner. It's Derrick Henry. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here is 3rd and 5.
Now Jackson.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Jackson. This is caught inside the 15. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
I tell you what, this is not for the faint of heart right here. 4th down, this is taking a big risk. But it's as good a play call as you can imagine. And the defense just not able to come up with the stop they needed. And this is not just a 1st down, but a big play as well.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Inside handoff, Henry. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room. Sprint him out to one side or the other.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. It's picked up by the Cowboys.
Hey, we can preach ball security all we want here, but how about that effort on defense? Excellent job inside the red zone. Just took away at least 3 points by forcing that fumble.
Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And they take over in a precarious spot here, albeit after forcing the fumble at the goal line. This is safety territory as they start from their own 1. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards, 1st down.
Partner, I think that play echoed a short yardage run. I know they're backed up against their own goal line, but when they stack the defensive line like that, if you find any type of a crease, you're up to the 3rd level before you know it.
They run again with Dowdle. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Prescott. He finds his man complete. It's Ferguson. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They run here with Dowdle. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
A running play, it's Dowdle. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Prescott now. And that's complete to Cooks. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down. He needed 5. He got it barely as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On second down, they'll run it here. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Play action now. Prescott. Eluding the pressure. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. To throw is Prescott.
A short one there taken in by Ferguson.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. We're scoreless after 1. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
On is the punter, Brian Anger, to kick this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
Quick throw there is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw is Jackson. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. Play action. Now Jackson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, dialing up that play call certainly meant that he grabbed a little extra shot of courage on that one, because normally on 3rd and short, you're just trying to move the sticks, get the ball just past that line of scrimmage. Instead, they take the big shot downfield, and it pays off.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. A quick pass out to Aguilar. From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd down and 5. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. To throw again is Jackson. This one caught by his tight end Andrews. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 20-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Flowers going to go in motion right.
Play action. It's Jackson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Jackson will throw again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Flowers. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Jackson from the shotgun. This complete left side to Aguilar.
And the Ravens are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is, because he understands how to get open in key situations.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Throwing is Jackson. And this complete to Henry over the middle. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Holding offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They go play action now. Jackson. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Jackson. Completes it to Aguilar. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Tucker's kick is good. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Dallas offense set for this next drive. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
And they pick up a 1st down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college. With all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position. And it's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game, but in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
Off the play fake, Prescott. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The veteran Kyle Van Noy in there to drop him. And he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
2nd and 8 coming from the 19.
Now it's Jackson. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Here's Jackson to throw.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Henry out of the pistol. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
2nd and 11.
From the gun, Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. So they'll get nothing out of that play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
This guy's proven himself to be one of the best in the NFL. He brings an added dimension to their offense with his ability to read defenses and know when he's able to pull it down and take off and go.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
They go play action with Jackson. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 18. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jackson. On target to his man, Likely. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Now 2nd and 3. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment defense.
So they don't even need to run a second down play. Give them the first.
And typically when we see this jumping, isn't it usually 3rd down, 4th down? They got them on 2nd down. I think that's a lack of discipline.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. And Jackson throwing once more.
Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henry.
So he stopped for no gain. And it'll be 2nd and goal. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Tucker's kick is good, and they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. Final play of the half. Prescott trying to lay one up deep. That's caught at the 25. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
So they tie it on the last play of the second quarter. Now the PAT will give them the lead.
Yeah, and how about that extra little jolt that they'll feel when the ball goes through the posts? Carry that to the locker room with them and feel like, okay, we've got something good going here now, guys.
Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point.
He's got it, and they take the lead at 7-6. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This one's been all you could hope for as an NFL fan. Just a one-point game here at halftime. This has been as much fun as you could hope for with both these teams in it to win it.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter.
And it's a pretty good return here as they get this up to the 29. The Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson set to take over once again. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
In motion, Aguilar.
Jackson. That one into the hands of Flowers. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
So here's a 3rd and 14.
Jackson now. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they'd pick up the first. And he's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
A first down carry for Henry. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4.
Off the option, here's Henry. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
The Ravens send their punter out now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Now Prescott. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Looking to throw. Prescott. He gets it to Cooks. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Prescott to throw it. Pass incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. And again, it's Prescott.
A short one there taken in by Ferguson.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
3rd and 3. Hands it off out of the gun.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
44 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short definitely was a great time to dial one up.
Right back to him on first down.
Down to about the 37.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Here's Prescott.
Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Prescott now. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. This will wind up a loss on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled.
Not 1 second, not 1 bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage?
On to punt now, Anger as he boots this one away.
And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Here's 2nd and 7.
A handoff, running left, Henry. Good strength, but not able to get a whole lot. Tackled shy of the 10. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's 3rd and 3.
Play action. It's Jackson.
That's complete to his receiver, Bateman.
Certainly not what they wanted there. No gain, and it's 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. That's taken it around the 40. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
Trenton Simpson firing in and sticking him for a loss.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped, but what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, ends up spilling it for a loss.
To throw is Prescott. Throw complete right side to Cooks. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Now a handoff running through the middle. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
And the move from Mike McCarthy is going to be to keep the offense on the field here on 4th down. They're going for it. Prescott.
A short one there taken in by Ferguson.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's a give up the middle. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9.
Throwing, Prescott. It's caught, Tolbert. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 25-yard line. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Here's Prescott. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Now Prescott. Cooks on the quick slant. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got it. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jake Ferguson, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys get an important score there to extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Aubrey now for the point after. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. There's still plenty of time here in the fourth quarter, and just a one-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and 2-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 right at the 30. And they'll run the option to start the drive. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. What a run there. You got speed, elusiveness, escapability, all rolled into one.
And we all know that quarterbacks are coached. They get the ball to the guys who can do all the things you just described. You want those guys who have speed, elusiveness, and escapability all rolled into one with the ball in their hands. And guess what? It's him. So there's no sense in throwing it or handing it off when you can do all of that yourself.
DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now, a quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Throwing is Jackson. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 21. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a fourth down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion right here. To throw is Jackson.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
2nd and 10. Henry up the middle. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The offense on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Jackson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Getting home that time to Marvian Overshone.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This from 44 yards away. Tucker's kick is good, and that'll get the lead down to 5. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Cowboys offense and Dak Prescott getting ready to go once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And this returnable for Sims. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Ravens offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Throw caught by Flowers. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
Off the option, here's Henry.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Jackson.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 58 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he stopped immediately there. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Now Prescott.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
Down at the 35, it'll be 2nd down.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Now a 2nd and 6. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. Here's Prescott. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. That is the big fella, Nnamdi Madubuike, forcing his way in. He comes up with a sack. A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
Here's Brian Anger now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down 14-9, a little over a minute to go. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So after the penalty, a break. 1st and 5. Jackson. That's caught. It's Flowers. Down to the 10. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th. Wow. What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the 4th quarter.
And partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3.
Will line up for the 2-point conversion.
Now Jackson. Dancing to his left. And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they've upped their lead to 3. So that effort gives them a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, and that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
Now to kick it away following the touchdown. Breaks through the contact. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now it's the Cowboys' turn. Trailing by 3 after the touchdown and 2-point conversion. 50 seconds to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Here's Dak. It fights him off. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. Here's Prescott.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2.
Now 2nd and 4. Prescott.
And Cooks has it over the middle.
Brandon, it's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
Here's 1st down. Now Dak.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this kick is not gonna get there. It's short and no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
We so often think of these kickers as automatic at any distance, and it's just not the case, because when you start talking about 50-plus yards, that's still a tough one to connect on. This one ends up no good, and that should put to rest any chance of this game getting to overtime.
So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal, because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens